My entire academic life has been devoted to figuring out tricky ways to get at causality.
We kind of say, what if this thing that everybody thinks is so really isn't so? It sounds ridiculous, but you see it all the time, people trying to fight against or build up something that they're sure is connected to something else, which it turns out just isn't.
The closest thing to worldview in Freakonomics is that incentives matter. And if you can figure out what people's incentives are, you have a good chance of guessing how they're going to behave.
After I've seen a sumo match, I can go in the data and I can tell you that there was rampant cheating going on.
When there's an incentive to cheat, a small percentage of people always will.
You have a crime problem that is out of control.
Clear the numbers are dropping. What's not clear is why.
You give people permission to challenge conventional wisdom and to ask a different kind of question entirely.
Levitt and Dubner delve deep into the unconventional, hard-to-answer questions, such as what do school teachers and sumo wrestlers have in common, and what accounted for the steep decline in criminals. Through their responses, Levitt and Dubner not only defy conventional wisdom, but explain how incentives plays a role in each one of these issues. The dictionary defines incentive as a reward or promise of payment that encourages a person to take a certain action, behave better, or work harder. The most common incentive being money. Whether people care to admit it or not, money plays as big as a factor in making decisions as anything else. For, will someone work harder when rewarded with money? The answer to that question is yes. The answer to my previous question, what do sumo wrestlers and school teachers have in common, is that they both cheat. Not only this, but they both have similar incentives that cause them to cheat. Whether it be bonuses for teachers for higher test scores or prize money for sumo wrestlers, money plays a vital role in why these people cheat. Levitt and Dubner use the example of Chicago classrooms, in which they found that more than 200 classrooms per year, roughly 5% of the total, revealed evidence of cheating. This is a conservative estimate, since it only identified classrooms in which teachers systematically change student answers, and not the many easier and subtler ways a teacher might cheat. They also discussed cheating among sumo wrestlers. They explain that sumo wrestler maintains a ranking that affects every slice of his life, how much money he makes, how large an entourage he carries, etc. The 66 highest ranked wrestlers in Japan make up the sumo elite, and each may earn millions is treated like loyalty, while people outside of that elite earn close to $15,000 a year. Life is not very sweet on the outside. This is why a sumo wrestler cheats. At a sumo wrestling tournament, each wrestler has 15 bouts per tournament. If he finishes the tournament with a winning record, 8 victories or more, his ranking will rise. If not, his ranking falls. If he falls far enough, he is booted from the elite rank entirely. The 8th victory in any tournament is therefore crucial. The next topic Levitt and Dubner address is the drop in crime from the 1990s on. In 1989, crime was at its peak, and the previous 15 years, violent crime had risen 80%. Now, in 1990, crime started falling with a suddenness that surprised everyone. Levitt and Dubner address this and analyze this drop. They researched articles published from 1991 to 2001 in the 10 largest circulation papers in the LexisNexis database and counted the number of citations for each. The most popular being innovative policing strategies, then increased reliance on prisons, and others such as tougher gun control laws, changes in the drug market, aging of the population, and a strong economy. After analyzing each of these on an individual basis, they learned that none of these are the cause of the drop in crime. It can actually be attributed to the court case Roe v. Wade. In Roe v. Wade, it legalized abortion within the first 3 months. What sort of woman was most likely to take advantage of Roe v. Wade? The answer is very often she was unmarried or in her teens or poor, and sometimes all three. Her child usually had a rough future, with a 50% more likely than average chance to live in poverty and a 60% more likely chance to grow up with just one parent. These two factors, childhood poverty and a single-parent household, are among the strongest predictors that a child will have a criminal future. Using deduction like this, Levitt and Dubner are able to attribute a large portion of the drop in criminals to Roe v. Wade and the legalization of abortion. Levitt and Dubner address other issues such as how is the Ku Klux Klan and the real estate agents alike, and what makes a perfect parent. Freakonomics defies conventional wisdom through its unconventional questions and even more unconventional answers.